I'm back.
Every time I walk out that door, every time I interact with anybody new, my purpose is to help change.
It's time to celebrate life. If you know that you're in charge of your life, it's time to stand up. If you know you want better for your life, it's time to stand up. If you know that you have what it takes to be in charge of your life, it's time to stand up. If you know that you are not just trying to be good for you, but for those around you, it's time to stand up. As a matter of fact, look to the person to your left and tell them you are enough.
I want to help you change, and just like you change, every time I interact with somebody, they help me change. It's no different than if I met an individual and they had 4 quarters and they needed change, or if I had $1 and they had 4 quarters, I need to change. We can swap the money. The value is still the same. They still got $1, I still got $1, but we both exchange something, and it was a change for both of us. So every time I walk out that door, I inspire to help change lives just as much as lives have changed me.
Y'all been listening to the wrong people, watching the wrong things all your life, and it's time to put to rest all those negative thoughts, because you are enough. It's time to put to rest that self-doubt, because you are enough. It is time to get rid of that negative energy, because you are enough. It is time to stop listening to people that don't have the best interests of you in your life, because you are enough. So let's have a moment of silence. I want everybody to understand that you are the person that's in charge of your life. Everything that you have inside of you to be who you're supposed to be in life. You have a destiny, and that destiny can only be accomplished through you, by you, and only you, with the help of God. When you realize that you are the person you are, because you're not a carbon copy, there's only one you. They try to put you in a box. Society tries to put you in a box, but you can't be in a box. How can you be in a box when there's only one you? But then they tell you, think outside the box. What I'm trying to get you to understand is there is no box.
I want to pass on the things that I have to the generations behind me. By the time it's time for me to get called home and go to the grave, I want to be empty. I believe in bankrupting the cemetery, so I can't take this knowledge with me, because the cemetery is already full of brilliant ideas and unwritten books and innovative ideas. I can't take this with me, so I'm trying to leave it all here as Billy Graham Jr. to the next generation so somebody else can carry it on.
And we're back. Man, oh man, how I have missed you over the past couple of weeks. Man, my family, we've been making life changes, life journey, because you know we're purpose driven over here. So we've been driven by our purpose, and we've been making a lot of life changes. And man, I gotta say, I just miss being able to talk to the purpose driven family. I have missed you so much. But man, during that time, I've had the opportunity to meet an amazing young lady. And when I say I don't even understand how she juggles or even moves through life doing all the amazing things that she does, but she pulls it off and she makes it look effortlessly. Man, I could go into details and tell you all her story, but no. You know, as usual, it's better when you get the authentic message, the full message from the individual themselves. So I can only bring you the one, the only, the amazing Chandra Strother.
Hey, Billy.
Hey, don't be over there getting shy on me now. Don't be getting shy on me now. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Hey, blessed and highly favored. Blessed and highly favored.
Awesome. Congratulations again on Bali.
Yes. Moving to Bali, Indonesia is different, but it was something. As we do on the show, we like to see people. It'd be one thing I'm sitting over here stressing like, hey, live the best life you can live, follow your dreams and passion. And then I'm just sitting there like, nope, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I have to do it.
That doesn't work. You can't be motivating everybody else and then you don't walk into exactly what it is that you speak in.
Exactly. And so that was the next step. Me and my wife, my family were like, let's go try something different. We love it. So far, so good. We're going to see how this works out.
Yeah, you let me know. I'm jealous right now.
Don't be jealous. You know, you're always welcome. You and the family can come anytime y'all want to. We'll be right here ready to receive you.
We're going to take you on that one.
I tell everybody, if you know me, everywhere I go, everybody's family. So everybody's welcome.
I cannot wait.
But no. You know me, I'm one of those people that have no problem talking. I get talking by myself all day long, but no, everybody wants to know who you are. Who can you tell the world? Who is Chandra Strotter?
Oh wow, that's a loaded question. Very loaded question.
Fire away.
So yeah, Chandra Strotter. Oh, who is she? I'm a mom. I am an educator. I am a content creator. I'm a blogger. I'm a daughter, an aunt. There's a lot that comes with me, man. There's a lot to juggle. So much to juggle. But one of the things that I love doing the most and what defines me, I believe, is my passion for people succeeding. I have a background in marketing. When I married my husband, he was going into education. And I decided to make a transition into education, and it was a very smooth transition. And I think that it's because of my passion to educate others. I had the kiddos, so I was working with like 7-year-olds, 9-year-olds, first grade, third grade. And I enjoyed it, and I still enjoy it, even though I'm not in the classroom right now. I'm coaching leaders. I'm coaching other coaches within their school buildings and just teaching them how to implement better strategies. So I love teaching people strategy. So I guess if I can, one word that can say who I am, I guess it would be a strategist.
Ooh. You know you can't miss me at the word strategist. It's everybody that hasn't already done it. The name of the YouTube channel is Strategic Dope. Make sure you subscribe because I'm all about strategy.
That's right.
In life, you have to, for those that don't get it, in order to have a strategy, you basically have to have a plan. And so many people just get out there. I'm guilty. I just get out there and run and take off and do stuff. And it's like, I probably should have made a plan before I did that.
Correct. That's one thing I'm learning in life. So we added a new addition to our family, unplanned pregnancy. And I am learning that we need some action steps. We have a 4-year-old, a 6-year-old, and now a 7-week-old. And so it's not just enough to get up and go. Like I have to have a plan. Like what does today look like? What does it encompass? And have some backups set in place in case the plan does not work. You know, you got to have a plan B, C, D, E, all the way to Z when you got 3 kids.
So me over here, we have the 3 boys, and I was just about to ask you too. I'm like, is any kid actually playing? Like you can say I'm ready to have a kid. We can do all the practice work to have a kid, but are you really actually ever ready?
No, you're never ready because you never know what they are all different. So you don't ever know what they're gonna come with. So I know with Ava, she's our oldest, and she moved a lot quicker. She's very independent. Mommy, I got it. She told me this morning, I know I got $52 in my piggy bank. So I guess she was letting me know, don't you touch it. It's not much you can do with $52 nowadays. But you know, with Christian, he's the middle child, and he's a little more needs some security. He's a thumb sucker, you know. But he's very dependent on mommy and daddy. And now we have this little one, and I'm curious as he matures, as he gets older, what that personality is going to be like. But you're never ready because they're all different.
So you just made me think of something just by how you got your 3 kids at the older 2 at the stages that they are, not knowing what the third one, where that's going to come. You might get some similar to the older, some similar to the middle. But when you think about, because, you know, I tell people all the time, because they call it work-life balance. And I'm like, I don't see the issue with work-life balance. If I just treat everything, I'm only one person, treat everything the same across the playing field. So the things that you learn from your family, I can also use that same aspect in my professional life. So knowing the 3 different levels of your kids, let's start with marketing. When you went into marketing, because you're all about helping people, so you deal with different levels of people the same way like your kids. How does that work in the marketing world?
You personalize the experience. So it's not enough for me to know that I have 3 kids. And this is something that I learned from my mom as well, because people used to, it's easy for people to look on from the outside and be like, oh, you like this one more than you like the other one. And oh, you mistreat this one. But the truth is they're personalizing. And one of the things that she has always said is, I know my child. So what was she saying? I know my audience. I know this person. And so in marketing, you have to know your audience. And so they do come at different levels. So you have to know how to personalize it and not become so generic until you're not hitting that target exactly where it needs to be punctured. So that's marketing.
I don't want nobody to miss that message, that jewel that marketing jewel you just gave for those individuals out there, because I don't know where everybody's from. I know it's people out there that's going to be touched by Chandra's nuggets and jewels and messages that she had, but she just gave you one. Whenever you're doing something, especially in the marketing realm, you have to know your audience. You have to know who you're selling to or who your target niche is. And she just told you the only way you're going to know that is you have to make every experience personable. You can't treat the next experience like the last one. It's going to be different. But before we get to that, because I just thought of something else. Before we even drop, I'm just saying, because we're on the marketing and somebody's like, okay, great. You gave me the information for one side and there. How does somebody get to marketing? Because I don't want to jump the gun. I want somebody to know, like, what did it take from you starting from the beginning to even get into marketing? What led to that?
It's just research. So when I first got to college, I figured, international business, that's what I'm going to do. And then I started taking some calculus classes and was like, sister cannot know. Yeah. Y'all about to have me deep in debt around here taking this class. Sometimes can't do it, scratch. So then I got into communication and learning how to communicate, opening up my mouth and tailoring my messages and understanding what I'm trying to deliver and how I want it to be received. I think communication classes were some of the best courses that I took at a collegiate level. A lot of us think that we're mastering communication, but we're just touching the surface.
Ooh, I like how you said that. Now, because I got to wrap it up. I don't want nobody missing this. We started out with strategies. You remember she said that? And I tell people all the time, because I'm all about education. Now, just because you say I'm going to college, if you haven't made a plan, if you haven't made a strategy for what you're going to do going to college, like Sandra just said, you're going to just be giving away money. She was sitting there and she saw that calculus and she's like, this ain't it. So think about those. And I'm telling this to everybody, not just the younger generation. I'm telling this to the parents as well, because as Chandra already said, I know my child. If you know your child is headed somewhere, because we're supposed to help foster dreams. But if you know you're looking at your child like, I'm sorry, a son, a daughter, but calculus, no, that ain't got nothing to do with I've seen you your whole life. I know you.
Right.
We're not finna waste this money and time. I want the best for you. And you went in the communication that led to marketing. I want people to understand that, because people just think marketing, sell. You have to be able to communicate. No, I'm not just keep going. Tell us what's next. We got to get this marketing realm. I'm curious now.
So learning how to communicate those messages and then learning how to piece those messages together. So one of the things that I learned when I was interning at a theme park was my VP of marketing asked me to put together a flyer, right? So here you have this communications major. I understand PR. They've already prepped me for this stuff. I give her this flyer and she's like, are you kidding me? And I'm like, what do you mean? What do you mean? It has the message on here. And she was like, there's too many, I was using too many fonts, just color combinations were clashing. And So in that, I learned that there's a such thing of having too much as well.
Yes.
So you have to learn how to, in your communication, simplify it. Sometimes less truly is more. Um,
Yes.
the less that people can see, most times it can grasp their attention, and they'll want to know more based off of the little bit that you've given. It's kind of like sampling food when like when your wife cooks and she's like, "Oh, taste a piece of this," and then
Yep.
you get it, and it's like, "Wait a minute, now we're not gonna be ready because that's good." well, if you like my husband, that's what happens.
No, I'm definitely like him. Me and him are alike. You can give a sample size, but we be wanting more.
Give them just enough. Give them just enough.
I'm sorry, you dropped another nugget for him. Marketing, and I want everybody to understand. Like, it might sound crazy, but every single thing that you remember, we talked about that balance. We try to overthink things instead of taking it at the simplest form. The stuff that Shonda is dropping on you right now, it doesn't just pertain to marketing. It can pertain to anything, but you have to use it according to your niche. Remember, she said less is better, less is more. Like, I had a mentor that once told me, if a 12-year-old cannot explain, if you can't explain your vision, explain what you're doing to a 12-year-old, then that means you're doing too much. And I thought about it. I'm like, the simplest form, because you think about a commercial, when you see kids commercials and anything, because we all got, remember I told you the balance. You go out there and the commercial sometimes has no words. It just has pictures with a little bit of music, and all of a sudden, next thing you know, you're in Walmart buying the next new toy.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody it can be understanding the 12-year-old's age, the simplest form, that's all it takes. It sounds, we overthink things as adults. I don't know why.
You got my brain firing off, because now I'm thinking of myself, because you're in the store buying the toy, and I'm thinking about the experience of checking out, and they have everything at eye level for your kiddos, right? So it's on their level.
Exactly.
Your attention. So it's putting stuff right at their level.
Man, I didn't even take in the fact. So how? Now you got me thinking, because like you said, hey, I'm sorry. You the one bringing all the dope content. As you said, you the content creator. You throwing it out there. Ooh, that's a good one. I don't think people realize this, because Chandra just showed us something else without us even knowing it. When you're operating in your niche, operating in your purpose, remember I've told people before, like, it comes off easy to you, but it seems hard to somebody else. We already know Chandra's an educator. She's in marketing. She does all this. And she's literally throwing stuff at us, and we're not even realizing that, oh my God, it goes across. Like she said, I didn't even think about the eye level thing, but now that we're talking about it, because that's another aspect of marketing. What are those other aspects that we might be missing? Because somebody out there wants to be a marketer. What are those aspects that we might be missing besides just the communicating and knowing who your customer is? What's that thing in marketing that makes you set aside that's different than somebody else?
Buying into what you're selling, buying into your purpose. So if I haven't bought into what it is that I'm doing, and this is something that I am really strong with. If someone on my team were to pop on right now, I hope they don't. I've been with them all day. They will tell you I'm really strong in communicating to them. You have got to know your brand. Know your brand, respect your brand, and stand by your brand. You have to do that. And how do you do that? By buying into what it is that you're selling. I cannot go into the classroom of an educator and tell them that a strategy works if I don't first believe in that strategy. I'm not going to be able to sell it. They're not going to believe that I know what I'm talking about if I walk in there stuttering, not showing any type of confidence, not showing them that I have faith in what it is that I am trying to get to them. And not so much to sell it to them, but to show them that it actually works. Like, this is going to benefit you. Here are the benefits of you having this.
Oh, that dug deep. Basically, if you don't believe in you, then how do you expect others to believe in you? If you don't value your value, then your value is not valuable. I'm gonna say that again. If you don't value your value, then your value is not valuable. And Chandra, you just said it because I didn't even know you were gonna do it, but you showed how you went from marketing and then you slid right over. If I walk into the room with my team and educators, and I'm like, she just showed us how no matter what niche it is, they all the same recipe goes for each one. You went in and you started with marketing. We already know you're doing a great job as a mom and a wife because you're juggling all this, but it's the balance. The same way you know your kids, your husband, you use that same technique in marketing. And then you said earlier how you just smoothly transition to educating. And then you just literally said it like I walk in my team with the same strategy and I make them believe. And I'm like, are we marketing or teaching? That shows how they go hand in hand. Now that you brought it up, now I'm curious. How did you transition and what made you transition from you was in there, didn't like the calculus in college, so you went with communication. And then when you were working at the amusement park, like, nah, less is more. And it's like, then you became this great marketer. But then you took those skills and transitioned to education. Like, how does that work and what made you do it?
I actually always say that I have one up on educators because I'm learning. You have to know how to tailor your message. And so as an educator, first of all, the transition was mainly because of the fact that my husband was an educator. And I remember being a little girl and always pretending to be a teacher. I would teach my sister and I would tell her, you got to learn this. Like, you need to write it this way. So I was always the educator in the house and pretending with my siblings. But then in college, it was like, oh, I got to chase the money. So I feel like if I do this is going to bring me money, not realizing that there's so much more to life than such. Like, do what you love. The money will come, like it'll come, but just do what you love. And so for me, marketing is great, but to be able to couple that with education. So I know how to go in and if there's a student within a certain demographic that someone's saying, oh, I just can't reach this child, it's hopeless. Well, have you taken out the time to get to know this person? Have you taken out the time? Demographic is important in education. It's not enough to just say, oh, I'm teaching children in a impoverished area. Okay, what do you know about this area? What do they like? How can you tailor what you're trying to get them to learn so that they become more interested in their education, so that they want to pick up a book and read it? So how are you tailoring these messages to your students in the classroom? And so that's why I say I got one up on educators, because I know how to translate what it is that I'm trying to get to my students.
Oh my goodness. Tailor the message. Again, I don't care how many times we got to recap because we're going to drill this in everybody's head. Tailor your message. Basically, know your audience. Basically, know your kids. We can go around this how many times you look at it because I want people to understand, because I don't know why this is the way it's going, but it's working out great. Work-life balance. I guess it's going this way because, Chandra, you balance so much stuff and I don't know how. I have no clue how. But you're doing You're doing it and it's crossing as you're talking right now, you can literally see like you're talking through your own balance. And you're basically using what I asked in the beginning, like basically use the same principles with your family that you use in your personal life. Then you brought in your husband and you was like the transition. Why? Because you're using the same method every single step you go. You're tailoring your message. You're learning who your audience is. Everything goes the same. Like soon you're going to know who the 7-week-old baby is because you're learning your audience, what their needs are. So I have to ask this question.
Yeah.
Because you brought it up. Brought it up.
What is it?
Because we see so many times with individuals go join a community, whether it be marketing, whether it be education, and they do not know the people in their environment. And they wonder why things aren't going the way they wanted to, or the people in the environment are looking at this individual like you shouldn't be here, whether that be educator, whether that be a sales representative, whether that be police, which we have seen before. We have people going to environments that they truly don't understand. So for somebody that's coming in as educator, marketing, what are some tips that you would give for somebody that's entering an environment they have no clue about? First
of all, humble yourself.
Ooh.
So it's easy for me to come and have X+ years in marketing and transition into education, but I have to humble myself and know, even though I'm experienced in this area, I still need to make sure that I'm learning how we are supposed to, respond and maneuver in this sector of life. So even though I'm able to bring my knowledge with me, knowledge is definitely power, but now I have to be empowered in this new area. So I need to humble myself and be able to receive training from others. And that's something that I learned in education. Let me tell you this secret now. So when I started blogging, it was truly to help first year teachers because I was getting it. Like they were giving me the business. And so I had to learn. And I'm like, why won't these people help? Like, in marketing, like we're helping each other. And man, educators, sometimes a dog eat dog world. Like, man. So I had to learn their ways of communication. And how did I do that? I had to sit back and observe. So we're humbling ourselves. So because we got to be teachable. And then, observing. What do you see? What are others doing? We have this word, what is it? Code switching. So you should be able to code switch. Well, you can't code switch if you don't know what to switch to. So we have to observe our surroundings. I don't go travel acting like I know exactly where everything is located.
Exactly.
I'm looking around, I'm observing, and then I'm looking to see, is there a blueprint? Is there a map? Is there something that's available that I can look at that can show me or point me in the right direction?
Yeah. Oh, you study dropping them on us. I want it. Okay. No matter how you look at it, it's education. It's education. You have to learn. It's funny because we're in the digital era. Mm-hmm. And like, for example, I give you a good one because I like transparency. Like we were just talking earlier about me and my family moving to Bali. Guess what my biggest education was for me and my wife? YouTube. We were YouTube and all types of videos. But as you said, getting to know that environment. You said traveling. Like I just couldn't show up over here like, hey, I'm American. Like we're doing it my way now. You have to know your environment. And everything that Chandra is teaching us is the same principles for every single situation. She told us about her kids, the older one, independent. The kid number 2, more need help from mom and dad. Third one, we don't know yet, but what does Chandra and her husband do? They're observing their kids. They're getting to know those patterns, those habits, so that they can better help them grow and flourish, even when they're running around the supermarket with everything at eye level. They know how to handle their kids. Same thing happened for marketing, and then she flawlessly transitioned into education. So we got to know, because somebody out there right now, they might not be marketing. They might be like, I knew education was great, or I knew it was bad, or whatever they may be thinking. Can you explain to somebody how they would go about entering the education scene? How do they become an educator?
Oh yeah. That's first of all, we need you if you're interested. There's a teacher shortage out here in these streets, so we do need y'all.
If it's online, I got you.
So first of all, there are probably some questions that you really want to ask yourself, or you want to observe some things. What level of students would you like to work with? Because there are various levels. You have your elementary level, you have your middle, you have your high, you have your post-secondary, collegiate level. So first of all, finding out who is it that you want to work with, because sometimes I think we have people that are educators, you don't even like kids, and it shows in your teaching. It shows in so another part of marketing. If you're marketing something you don't like, it's gonna translate in your message. We know you don't like this stuff, and you trying to sell it to me and tell me it's good. It's nasty, and I'm not gonna eat it. So that's something that we need to really just know yourself. Like, are you willing and able to handle what comes with being an educator? Are you students aren't as respectful as they used to be back in the day. I'm an 80s baby. They talk back now. And they also tell you, and you can tell my mama, I'll tell my mama for you. So you have to, once again, know the market, research the schools in your area. If you're interested in teaching at a school that is within your district, learn what those protocols look like, learn what the requirements are. and really ask yourself, reflect on those materials and say, am I truly willing to sacrifice and give my life for this? Education is a sacrifice. If you're going into education, it's not because you're looking for money. Education is a true sacrifice. But what you get in the end, you get to see students, you get to see kids flourish. You get to see their eyes light up whenever you're instilling in them ways of life. You're their parent at school. That's what you are. So can you dig it? Because if so, you can go online, start filling out some information. I know some areas have a TAP program, and that's for people that are transitioning from other careers. And they can go into the classroom without actually having the certification in that moment. So you're getting a taste of what it's going to be like. But yeah.
Oh, I like how you brought the balance in on your own when you said it. You said you're basically their parent in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to tell everybody, and I want you to hear what Chandra's saying. In marketing, when you're trying to help that customer or that client get to what their end goal is, you're their parent in a sense. In education with those kids, you're their parent in a sense. You have to get to know them. You have to understand the message. But the biggest thing that you just said was you at least have to like what you're doing. You cannot say, I want to be a teacher, and you don't like kids. You can't say, I want to do marketing, and you don't like to communicate with other people. I want people to understand that, because Chandra said it earlier. She was like, don't chase the money. The money will come when you're doing what you love to do. And I just have to get that little segment because we're in the age of entrepreneurship. I love it. I love watching everybody just chase dreams and goals. I love it. Run their own businesses. But it's one aspect I don't like about it. And you hit on it. So many people are picking up something because they saw the next person making money off of it. Mm-hmm. So they're just like, I'm going to do that. And it's like, but you don't even like to cook. How you gonna open a food truck? Like, I don't get it. And then they sit there and they're wondering why it's not working out. And it's like, because you have to do what you love to do. Because guess what? Chandra already said it. If you don't love it, you have no passion. You're not going to know how to market it. You're not going to know how to speak for it because you don't love it. You have to love what you do.
Correct.
And one thing that we know about Chandra, she loves to educate.
Yes.
You snuck something in on us a minute ago.
Oh, did I?
Yeah, and I'm not finna let it slide.
Uh-oh.
She said, I had to start the blog because in marketing, we help. The education world is crucial. It was like, why are we not doing the same thing? So you started a blog, because I told you, I don't know how she juggles all this. You started a blog. So I guess we're going down this route. How does somebody that wants to help others in their area where they see there's not much help, how would they start a blog or get information out there to help others? I've never heard of this one. I want to learn this one myself.
Yeah, it's starting research. So one of the things that I was trying to understand is where's the disconnect coming from communications? Mind you, I'm a communications major, but for some reason, you had it was not to make this anything that's out of race. It was a team of 4 Black women, and I'm saying that because I'm African American, and we can hold our own. And so that's what you had. It was a bunch of bumping heads and misunderstandings because everyone did not know how to effectively communicate, or someone was better at the craft. And instead of saying, hey, how you do that? How did you get that done? It was more, man, they ain't all that. I'm doing other stuff that they ain't even doing. Okay, so how about we are a community and we're here to better the people because we're all serving the same students here. How about you enlighten this person? And so that's what I started doing. I started researching more on communication and where could the breakdown be? Why is it that there's a book called Thanks for the Feedback? And it talks about the struggles that we have in not only receiving feedback, but knowing how to properly give the feedback, or having that communication to be able to give feedback to someone. Because sometimes just a mere look on somebody's face will intimidate us in what we were going to say, which was going to be very powerful, and that would probably provide a breakthrough, we choose to like cower down and not deliver that message because we don't know how to effectively deliver it because of who it is. So I started looking at personality types and how that can affect the workplace when it comes down to communication and things. So I started, blogging about that. But then I found out that, from there, I was like, well, maybe I can also inspire these teachers by adding, a daily devotional piece to that. And one thing in marketing and what I'm learning in life is life has a way of challenging you to the point where it pushes you into another direction that you were supposed to be headed to anyways. And so I began to receive more success with the daily post, which was a really quick read. And yeah, that's how we kind of came up with the Faith Stir anyways. So yeah.
I did not know. So are you still doing that?
So yeah, so I have the blog. It's not something that I've really been giving a lot of my time to when it comes down to the writing piece of it. I'm actually writing some other things right now. So I'm trying to compile some things that I've learned so that we can release that in another way. So yeah.
I'm not gonna push too much in that direction. You look like you got a secret cat that y'all gonna let out the bag.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you let that out however you feel, because my wheels were turning. I'm like, she's on to another endeavor. Like, when does it stop? Because you said the blog piece.
Mm-hmm.
I know about, because you mentioned you snuck it in so slightly briefly earlier.
I'm sneaking something in. What am I sneaking?
I don't think you do it on purpose. I think it's just who you are, because you're so much into helping others.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned something earlier about, like, besides just helping teachers, you're just like helping. What was it? Oh, we were talking about the kids. You're like, and helping moms and helping, and I was like, helping moms.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, okay, was that the blog? And I asked you about the blog. I asked you about the education. And you didn't mention nothing about helping moms. So if nobody remembers what I'm talking about, roll back to the beginning of this live when it produces on YouTube, and you'll see what I'm talking about. You said something about helping moms. Mm-hmm. What ways do you help moms?
So what I can talk about. So with the Faith Stir, I normally do lives once a week. On Facebook, and I've decided to team up with a friend, and we are going to begin to bring some conversations about motherhood, what that entails. One of the greatest things that I've found is having a conversation with another mom on the phone or in person, and then they start talking about their kids. They're like, "Oh, this is going on, and that's going on at the house, and oh, this is." And then, I start getting like, I start leaning in, right? Because I'm just like, wait a minute. This isn't just happening at my house. Yes. I'm not going crazy. This is happening at your house too. Oh, okay. So this is normal. And so I think sometimes we are very protective of our families. And so we don't share information because we don't know what other people are going to do with that information. I'm afraid to be vulnerable with other women. And so when women are able and willing to share information and be very candid and transparent about, girl, no, this is going on at my house too. It builds community and it gives you a sense of hope that this is just life. I'm not losing at life. Like, this is just life. This is what happens. This is what comes with being a wife, with being a mom, with having a job and juggling all of these other things. So now that I know this is happening with other people, let's bring the conversation. Let's bring the conversation and talk about what's happening in our homes and how we're dealing with those things.
Wow. So that's amazing. I want to let you in on a secret. Tell your husband, ask your husband about it later on. Us men have those same conversations. We just have them a little different, but we have those same exact conversations. It just comes off differently.
Okay.
Yeah, just ask him about it. He'll be able to get. It's different for everybody, but we have the same conversation.
I love it.
But it's amazing to know. The reason I threw that out there, because somebody listening right now, there's because think about it. I want everybody to understand what Chandra's saying. She can't be the only one to start this moms group. It might be a moms group that needs to be started in your community. There might be needs to be a dad's group in somebody's community. Somebody needs to start marketing somewhere. Somebody needs better with education. Somebody needs to blog. And everything that Chandra has been telling you is all about that same life balance that she started off with. She's using the same principles in every part of her life. She's just finding different ways to communicate that within the niche that she's talking to at that time. She has found a strategy. Are you a strategy consultant? We might need some more of that. I don't want to add no ideas or nothing to your plate, but if you want to be a strategy consultant, I know a couple of people, including myself, that would love to take you up on that. Because man, but anyway, sidetrack. I'm sorry, I screwed that. Because you're throwing so many gems out to let people know that what they want to do in life, because you're not failing in life, you're actually winning. You're not the only one going through things. We're all going through some, and in many cases, the exact same thing. And we need somebody that has the voice like a Chandra, or the person that's watching this live right now. We need you to speak up, because that breakthrough, that purpose, you're wondering what I'm supposed to be doing. You're the person that might need to be doing it for us to help bring us along the way, like Chandra is. So you say this on Facebook. Is that always gonna be on Facebook, or is it another platform? How are we gonna be able to watch it? Because I want to tune in too.
So I told you life comes with challenges, and it has a way of pointing us in other directions. So originally, yes, I started out on Facebook. I feel like I'm an old person. I like to stick with the thing that I've learned. But I also know that at this point, in order to be effective in reaching others, because I really feel like this is needed, you have to be willing to branch out, and you have to be willing to be uncomfortable, and be okay with being uncomfortable, as long as the purpose is being fulfilled and other people are finding this information that they need and are afraid to admit that they may need. So other platforms, definitely going to be doing so. It's just a matter of me researching the best ways to reach these mothers. Where are they? What are they tuning into? And let me get there in front of them. Yeah.
Ooh, light bulb just went off. I'm gonna talk to you later on about that one. Light bulb. Because like you said, we got to work together. And man, I just had an idea pop in my head. We'll discuss that in a little bit. But yeah. So, but before I, because I don't want to miss this opportunity, because you got so much going on. Mm-hmm. How do people even contact Chandra Strada to even be a part of your world, to learn from you, to get that education? I don't want to miss that. Not, I will go off on a spur of moment. So how can people get a hold of you?
They can either go to thefaithstir.com, or they can email me at contact@thefaithstir. So definitely just either way works. I'm always here. Find me on Facebook if you like. I'm on Instagram. Everything is tied to The Faith Stir. And I know you're probably like, okay, how'd you even come up with that name?
Oh, you know, I was ready. I'm like, yeah, come on, give it to us. Faith Stir.
So the cheesy part is, when I started my blog, it was called Personalized Outfitters, right? So don't y'all tell nobody else. So Personalized Outfitters. I just thought about, personalizing a message, when you got that nice fit, that's your go-to. And so that's how I came up with that name. But the Daily Brew became the daily post that I did. That was the inspirational post. And that's the one that caught fire for me. And so I began to pray, because I'm very spiritual. I started praying and wanted to change the name, because I knew that wasn't it anymore. And so God answers prayers. Like that name came while I was sleeping late in the midnight hour. I heard it plain as day, woke up, started researching it. No one had it. And I claimed it. I claimed it within a couple of weeks. So
Faith Stir. I love it.
Yeah.
So the reason I love it, because you've given us so much tonight, that it just, like when you said about like the husband, like, oh, I'm cooking something that's like a little bit of a taste of something. Mm-hmm. And it's like we always come back for more. all I see is you taking your faith and stirring up all the stuff that you know from life, the personal life, the things that you're trying to teach, and you got a big pot of faith and you stirring it. And like, oh, you need a little bit? Go ahead, take some. You'll be back. And they always come back because they need more.
Right.
And I'm sorry, hey, if that works for you, use it. But it's in my mind, like I just see you with this big pot of marketing, teaching, helping moms, doing different blogs, like just giving out this communication, education, showing that your niche is the same. You are who you are. When you're operating in your purpose, it goes on every platform, no matter what you're trying to do. You don't have to find a work-life balance when you're doing what you're supposed to be doing and using it all. And I just see you stirring this pot like, hey, a little more faith for you. Come on back when you get ready.
I love that.
It's just, hey, that's for you. That's you. Take it right there. Use that. Yeah. We work together around here.
I love it. And the thing about that is, I know we equate faith so many times to our spiritual lives, but faith is what you believe in. So whatever you're stirring in that pot, it's what you're believing in. And the more you stir it, the more comes. But if you don't ever stir it, nothing else is coming. So you got to stir what it is that you believe in.
You did it again. Everybody catch it now. She it's like, I think she just tosses up another idea. Like, she's telling you, if you don't have faith in whatever it is that you're doing, nobody else is going to have faith. You can't market it. You can't teach anybody. Nobody's coming to you for services if you don't believe in what? You first. You are your... I want you to understand something. Chandra said it. She's been saying it throughout the whole show. It started when we had the whole conversation about her own family. When she talked about her daughter, $52. We know it doesn't do much, but hey, she doesn't know that yet, but she's fostering that. Hey, we got to save. We got to do this. We got to hold on. Everything that Chandra does is based on her believing in it herself. She is her own first client. She's her own first person. She educated herself. By doing all the studying, she knew this calculus wasn't for her, so she dropped that off real fast and switched over to communication. She was the first person she marketed. She marketed herself. And that marketing just didn't stick with marketing, helped the smooth transition over to teaching. She was the first person to believe in teaching others. So what did she do? She started educating herself to teach others with the blog. She was the person that was walking around doing Facebook's lives, helping mothers. What did she do? She first had to teach herself as being a mother with kids with different personalities. She's basically telling you, you have to have faith in yourself first in order to do anything that you want to do in life. I don't see how, oh my goodness, you gave us a whole sermon, a whole education lesson, mentor lessons. Did you strategically plan this? Because you're a strategist. I think you probably just be doing stuff and don't know you saying it, or you purposely
That
did.
is exactly what happens. I just talk and it comes.
Well, it came and it fell right in place. Oh my goodness. I don't even know how you did it, but I do have a question.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, I asked this question to everybody, and I'm definitely asking you because you did this strategy to us. I think you did it on purpose. I'm gonna let you go where you didn't. I'm gonna let you make it tonight. But when it comes, because there's people like me out here, we all, like you said, I have this belief in that balance of having a plan. Like you have a plan A, you're moving ahead. Plan B, you're moving backwards. If you have a plan C, you're setting yourself up for catastrophe. But I think when I say it, people don't understand that plan A has room for deviations. That doesn't mean when something goes wrong, make a whole new plan. You have a plan A, you stick with it. That's what you're going. You make little changes here and there. So as a strategist in multiple different platforms, which we already have learned about you tonight, for that person that's out there just trying to get started with their first purpose journey, however you want to put it, what is that strategic way that you would explain to them or tell them to go about becoming not just successful, but staying true to who they are, that faith stir?
You need to have a goal. You need to have a goal. And once you develop that goal and you craft it to the point where you believe that that goal is attainable, make sure it's measurable. You want to put a date, you want to put a deadline on it so that it can get you moving. And then have some action steps that come along with that. But in pursuing the goal, don't be afraid of reflection. That is one of the key components that I enjoy implementing in my day-to-day is reflecting reflecting on the progress that you are or are not making, and then find out if you're not making that what's hindering it, what's hindering that progress from happening. And it does not mean, as Billy has said, that you need to create a whole new plan. That's not what that means. What it means is you just need to stop in that moment and assess. And sometimes it's not the plan that needs remaking, it's our mindset. So you might need to reset your way of thinking so that as you continue to pursue your purpose, you're able to do so without any type of, just doubt and any hesitation. You're pursuing because you know that what you're on to is exactly what you're supposed to be mastering.
You did it I think you did that on purpose. So the reason I say that, because you talked through it, and I okay, let's back up.
Okay.
For those of you that do not know, Chandra if you have never heard this phrase before, you just learned it tonight. What she just broke down to you is what is called SMART goals. SMART. Specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-based. That's right. Yeah. She basically just gave us the acronym SMART goals. If you don't know what it is, I was about to go a little deeper, but Chandra has told us tonight and showed us we're just supposed to teach people the path they're supposed to go and let them also do a little bit of the work and go do some education themselves.
That's
so
right.
Chandra just gave you what SMART goals are in order for you to be successful in what you want to do. Now, it's on you to go do the extra research, but did you purposely do that? Was that part of the strategy?
Of course not. But the people got to win. The purpose is for everyone to win, and they have to understand it. So there you have it. Go do the research, y'all. It's everywhere. Go do the research. SMART goals there.
Because as you were saying it, I'm like, this sounds familiar. Like it sounds like something that was drilled in my head, and you did it. And I want everybody to understand those SMART goals go for every aspect of your life. When it comes to your kids, you help them attain those SMART goals so that when they get older, those SMART goals register in. Remember, Chandra said it. Oh, no, I got to college and that calculus. Why? Because that had nothing to do with her goals. Nothing. And I tell people that's what I mean about education. We go down the pipeline of learning and diving head first into something because we saw somebody else do it. And Chandra has just shown us tonight that when you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, it all flows in the same direction. Man, oh man, I'm lost. What? I normally don't do this, but I have to ask. It can go whichever way you want it to go. Before you go, can you give us one more nugget? Give us something you live by, something that you go by. I don't care what it is, because you've already showed us that it's going to be able to relate to personal and professional. You've been doing that all night. So what's a nugget that a Chandranism, however you want to say it?
Oh, goodness. Oh, you would put me on the spot here. Now, that's something that's just not going to drop. But I'm just kidding. One thing that I live by, and it's in every area of my life, and it has just really caused me to just be at peace, is mind your business. Mind your business. And sometimes people say it and it's negative and it can be kind of derogatory. Like, just mind your business. No, I truly mean mind your business. When you have, like you said, those SMART goals, mind your business. What is your business? That SMART goal. It's that goal. It's your purpose. It's what's driving you. And when you learn to mind your business, you're able to really carry out your duties without stress. I mean, of course you get aggravated, but because you're minding your business, you know that what you're minding, it belongs to you and not to someone else.
Oh, I want everybody to know this wasn't done on purpose. Shani threw the oop. She threw it. I'm going to come in and catch it because I agree with you on that mind your business. I agree with you so much that I wrote a book called Mind Your Vision, Time to Focus. Anybody that wants to go get it,
I gotta get it.
You can go on Amazon. The book is Mind Your Vision. I will put that in the details. My name, everybody knows, Billy Graham Jr. Search it that way. But Mind Your Vision, Time to Focus. And without even knowing it, it kind of taps into the SMART goals inside of the book. But yes, mind your vision, because we get so off-centered, but that is a great nugget that so many people overlook. Why? Because culture today has made mind your business a negative thing, when actually you need to literally mind your business, or you can't get to where you need to be. Oh my goodness, I love that. I love that. Now, don't get me wrong. We got to do it again. I'm also going to put it in the description, but before you go, can you once again tell people how can they get in touch with Chandra?
Definitely go to thefaithstir.com. Just go to thefaithstir.com and you'll find everything that you need.
Don't worry, everybody. I will be dropping that link in the description because I want everybody to understand. You got to go to thefaithstir.com and get all this strategicness that Chandra has, because she has more. And I know she does, which is why I don't know when, but soon I'm going to have to get you back on here, because I'm not finished picking your brain. And we're going to want to know what that, I want to know, and everybody else wants to know, this might be the first time in history of doing this that we let somebody go because they hold on to like a good secret coming out, and we got to bring you back to talk about
I can give you one secret. I just couldn't give you that secret. So one secret I will say, if you are interested in learning more, receiving any type of strategies, you want to do a reset as a woman, and you just want further direction, in January, I will be offering some coaching to women that want to just get further in life, and they're kind of stuck with where they are and they're not sure what it is that's hindering them. I want to walk alongside you and point you in the right direction. So there you go. I gave you something.
So everybody, if you just didn't hear, Chandra just basically told us that she's going to be back on the show, January or February, so we can see how this coaching is going, as well as the other thing. Hopefully it's done by then. We don't know. We will find out. No pressure. No pressure. But yeah, it's going to be some stuff that we got. And she's already told you, she's all about being strategic. She's a strategist. So she has a plan for all this stuff. And we can't wait to have you back on so you can tell us how this plan unfolds. Now, don't go nowhere, because I want to talk to you after the show.
Okay.
But I have to say, on behalf of everybody that's listening, the strategy and nuggets that you dropped, the way you intertwine life and how you balance it for us tonight, I have to say on behalf of everybody, thank you, because, man, you taught us a lot tonight.
You're welcome. I've enjoyed this.
That's why we got to have you back.
I'm coming back.
No, but for real, stick with me. Don't go nowhere. Again, thank you. We wish you nothing but blessings on all your future endeavors. But until next time, I will see you on the other side.
Bye.
Man, I don't know if you missed any of those nuggets that she dropped. If you missed any of that information, Chandra taught us how to be strategic and help us have a plan for our life, to live with our purpose, follow our purpose, be driven by our purpose, just so we can obtain the success, the things that we want to do in life. But not only that, she broke it down where you could see that balance, because people always tell us maintain that work-life balance. She broke it down to how you can maintain that balance in every aspect of your life by what? Having faith in what you're doing, believing in yourself. Because guess what? In every aspect of your life, that common denominator is you. And if you didn't catch everything that Chandra said, I advise you to please go back and rewatch it again. And man, I can't wait till next week to see who the next guest is. And for those of you who don't know or haven't been just not tuning in, we are going to be on next week every Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. Every Thursday, Purpose Driven, live on YouTube. And man, I can't wait. Again, I missed y'all, and it's felt so good getting back in the seat to see the fam again. Hey, I look forward to next time. And as you know, as always, I want you to continue to live in your purpose, with purpose, on purpose. I'll see you next week.
I'm back.
Every time I walk out that door, every time I interact with anybody new, my purpose is to help change.
It's time to celebrate life. If you know that you're in charge of your life, it's time to stand up. If you know you want better for your life, it's time to stand up. If you know that you have what it takes to be in charge of your life, it's time to stand up. If you know that you are not just trying to be good for you, but for those around you, it's time to stand up. As a matter of fact, look to the person to your left and tell them you are enough.
I want to help you change, and just like you change, every time I interact with somebody, they help me change. It's no different than if I met an individual and they had 4 quarters and they needed change, or if I had $1 and they had 4 quarters, I needed change. We can swap the money. The value is still the same. They still got $1, I still got $1, but we both exchanged something, and it was a change for both of us. So every time I walk out that door, I inspire to help change lives just as much as lives have changed me.
Y'all been listening to the wrong people, watching the wrong things all your life, and it's time to put to rest all those negative thoughts, because you are enough. It's time to put to rest that self-doubt, because you are enough. It is time to get rid of that negative energy, because you are enough. It is time to stop listening to people that don't have the best interests of you in your life, because you are enough. So let's have a moment of silence. I want everybody to understand that you are the person that's in charge of your life. Everything that you have inside of you to be who you're supposed to be in life. You have a destiny, and that destiny can only be accomplished through you, by you, and only you, with the help of God. When you realize that you are the person you are, because you're not a carbon copy, there's only one you. They try to put you in a box. Society tries to put you in a box, but you can't be in a box. How can you be in a box when there's only one you? But then they tell you, think outside the box. What I'm trying to get you to understand is there is no box.
I want to pass on the things that I have to the generations behind me. By the time it's time for me to get called home and go to the grave, I want to be empty. I believe in bankrupting the cemetery, so I can't take this knowledge with me, because the cemetery is already full of brilliant ideas and unwritten books and innovative ideas. I can't take this with me, so I'm trying to leave it all here as Billy Graham Jr. to the next generation so somebody else can carry it on.